Hello students, welcome once more to JAM Maths class, and my name is Mr. Dami. And in this edition we shall be looking at JAM Maths Revision 7, and we shall be dealing with very sensitive topic in mathematics, topics like probability and calculus. You know, many people when they hear the word calculus, they get frightened. But actually, this video will help you understand that calculus is what you can do and what anyone can do. Now, let's take probability questions right now. First of all, we have this. We found this question: a number is selected at random from 0 to 20. What is the probability that a number is an odd number? Now we have the numbers from 0 to 20. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And the odd prime number is what the question said. Which ones are odd number but also prime? You know, actually 1 is an odd number, but 1 is not a prime number. You know, prime numbers are numbers that have only two factors, itself and 1. That means that numbers that cannot be divided by anything but itself and 1. 1 is not a prime number. So the prime number that are odd begin from 3, 5, 7, 11. Now 9 is not among, because 9 can be divided by 3. So 11, 13, 15 is not among, because 15 can be divided by 5 and 3. 17 and 19. These numbers are both odd and prime number. So the total number, the total of all the number between 0 to 20 are 21 numbers. But the total odd numbers, all prime numbers, are 7. So that's 7 over 21. So the answer is 1 over 3. So the total answer, that means B, the correct answer for that question. That's probability, and this is what anybody can understand. Now the next one says 3 boys play a game of luck in which their respective chances of winning are 1 over 2, 1 over 3, and 1 over 4. What's the probability that one and only one of the boys win the game? Now there are 3 boys, right? There are 3 boys. Now let the boys be A. The first boy is, let's say that the first boy is A, that's 1 over 2. Second boy is B, 1 over 3, and the third boy is C, 1 over 4, which is 1 over 4. Now probability of one boy is of only one boy. What probability that one and only one of the boys win the game? So the probability of only one boy winning the game is can be explained. You must know that can be explained as A, not B, and not C, or it is B. It can either be A only, that's A, not B, not C, or B, not A, not C. Because they said it is only one boy. It can either be A and not B and not C, or B is the one and not A and not C, or C is the one and not A and not B. If you've written this down, then you've understood the answer to the question, because that's just it. So what is the probability of A? 1 over 2, and that's what I have here. I have 1 over 2 here. Not B means 1 minus B. You know, probability of B is 1 over 3, right? So not means 1 minus 1 minus 1 over 3. Okay, then and not C. No, and means times in probability. That will become times not C, 1 minus 1 over 4, because 1 over 4 is C. Or means plus B, 1 over 3, and which is times not A, 1 minus 1 over 2, and that's times. There has to be a times here. Then not C, 1 minus 1 over 4, or plus C, 1 over 4, and 1 times not A, 1 minus 1 over 2, not B, 1 minus 1 over 3. This is what it means, and this is the way to explain it. So if you say, if you pick 3 things and they said it's one of the 3, just pick, is the first one, not the second, not the third, or is it second, not the first, not the third, or is it third, not the second, and not the first. And that is the way probability thinks. Okay, so we have the answer will be 1 over 2 is still here. 1 minus 1 over 3. To minus anything by 1, just do that fraction 1 over 3 minus the up from the down. 3 minus 1 is 2. That will make 2 over 3. That's the short cut. So 1 minus 1 over 3 is 3 minus 1. That's 2 over 3. That's the short cut. Then 1 minus 1 over 4 is 4 minus 1 is 3 over 4. And that's what I have here. Plus 1 over 3. 1 minus 1 over 2 is 1 over 2. 1 minus 1 over 4 is 3 over 4. So there is times in between, that's because of the and. Then we have plus here. 1 over 4 is here, times, that's and. 1 minus 1 over 2 is 1 over 2, times 1 minus 1 over 3 is 2 over 3. If you cut now, 2 we cancel 2, 3 we cancel 3, I'm left with 1 over 4 in the first one. 3 we cancel 3, I'm left with 1 over 8 because 2 times 4 here is 8 in the second one. Then 4 we cancel 2 here 1, 2 in 4 is 2. I'm left with 1 over 12 in the last one. Now that's fraction, right? LCM of 4 and 8 and 12 is 24. Then 4 divided 24 is 6 times 1 is 6. That's just fraction. Then 8 divided 24 is 3 times 1 is 3. Then 24 divided by 12 is 2 times 1, which is 2. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11 over 24, and that makes C the correct answer. And that's the way to think in probability. Now let's check out the next one. A bag contains 5 black balls and 3 red balls. 2 balls are picked randomly without replacement. What is the probability that a black and a red ball are picked? Now they said that 2 balls are picked without replacement. Please take note of the word without replacement. What does that mean? Now in the bag we have black balls are 5, red balls are 3, but it's a no replacement question, right? So the total ball is 8, right? 5 plus 3 is 8, right? Now the probability can now be you pick a black and a red, or you pick a red and a black. Since it said 2 balls randomly, it means it is either black and red or red and black, but we don't know. So it is either black and red, and black and red means black is 5 over 8 and means times. Red, because there's no replacement, red is 3. But when you have picked 1 black, the total number will fall to 7. Because the total number is 8, and you pick 1 black, that's 5 over 8. Then times what is left for red is 3. It's still 3 for red, but the total will no more be 8, but now 7. Because you picked 1 before. Or now in this case, red comes first, so that's 3 over 8. Okay, that's 3 over total, that's 8. Then the black are 5. But since you pick 1 for the red, it will remain 7. So that's 5 over 7 here. And then if you multiply, you'll be getting 5 times 3 is 15, 8 times 7 is 56, plus 3 times 5 is 15, 8 times 7 is 56. If you plus 15 plus 15 is 30, because denominators are the same, it will just be, you will not plus the one below if they are the same. Okay? You can only plus the one on top in fraction. 15 plus 15 is 30, then 56 and 56 is 56. If you cut it by 2, you'll be getting 15 over 28 as your answer. And that makes A the correct answer. Now let's check out number 4. The result of tossing a fair die 120 times is summarized above. Find the value of X. Now this is the case. Now this is a tabular one. So the total is the frequency here. You just add up the frequency. 12 plus 20 plus X plus 21 plus X minus 1 plus 28. I'm adding only the one below. Everything is 120 times, right? So you'll find X now. That will now give me 12 plus 20 plus 21 minus 1 plus 28. That's 80. Then X plus X. I corrected like that, numbers to one side, letters to one side. X plus X is 2X equals 120. Then this 80 will go to the other side to become 2x equals 120 minus 80, which is 40. 2x equals 40. Divided by 2, s is 20. And that is my answer for this question. And that brings us to the end on probability. Now let's take a very fast look at calculus, which can be divided into differentiation and integration. Now, as a general rule, differentiation and integration combined is called calculus. Now, differentiation rule, if you want to differentiate and you are given y equals a to the power x, the general rule of differentiation says that dy dx, that means dy dx means the differential or the answer to differentiation will now become, this x on top will come to the front, it will become x a, then the x will now minus by 1. It will become x, the x on top here came to the front, it will become xa, then x minus 1. Do you understand that? That's quite straightforward, right? Now, but if it is integration, it will now become, this is the question, integrating a raised to power x, the same question, But in integration, we will not put the s in the front like this one, like we did here, and s minus 1. It will now become the s on top as the power will become s plus 1 divided by the same thing on top here, s plus 1. This is how we integrate generally, and this is how we differentiate generally. But there are some other tiny rules that are very important that I could list out a few of them here. So we have this rule. You mustn't forget that if it is a differentiation of sine, y equals sine x, it will become dy dx equals cos s. Sine x, the answer for sine x on differentiation is cos s. Then if it is cos s, the answer will now become, in differentiation, will now become minus sine s. Please take note. Sine s becomes cos s, and cos s becomes negative sine x. And the product rule, we have for the product rule, this is the product. If you have a differentiation that is a times, okay, a multiplication differentiation, the general rule is u dv over dx plus v du over dx. You will understand this better when we take a question on that, and I will try my best to explain clearly to you. Now, for integration, everything you see here is going to repeat itself in integration, because integration is the inverse of differentiation. Integration is just differentiation but upside down. So now the answer, you know, sine x is cos s here, but in integration, sine s will become minus cos x. This is integration, so you must not mix them up. Sine s will become minus cos s, and cos s will become sine x. So that is integration. It is just the exact opposite of differentiation, and that is what we have here. Now let's check this question out. This is an integration question, right? Now generally the rule of integration says that what do you have here? First of all, begin this question by integrating this thing. Integrate this question. Don't mind 3 and 1 that's here. Just begin with this one. Integrate this thing first. Now how do we integrate this expression? You know, normally I say that integration will become plus 1 for the power, and it will become over this, the same thing, right? So now integrating, first of all, begin by integrating s squared minus 1. So that will become 2 plus 1 is 3. That will become s to the power 3 over 3. Can you see that? Then if you have an ordinary number, it will gain x. So 1 will become minus, and this minus 1 will become minus 1x. Just add x. That's just it. And this is the way we integrate. If you've understood this, you've understood a lot about the integration. And that is the general law of integration. But you must also add plus c. That is a constant of integration. And that's what we have here. Now you are finished integrating. Now, at the end of integration, then you now work on this 3 and 1. This 3 and 1 means use 3 to represent x, and use 1 to represent x, but minus the two values, the two answers. That means in this place, after I integrate, I will now substitute 3 for x in this answer, in this integration answer. Instead of x, I will put 3. I will finish that in the first one, then do the same for 1 in the second one. So I will have, this is my answer here. This is your answer for integration. Instead of x, replace the x by 3. That will become 3 to the power 3 over 3 minus 1 times 3 plus c. That's the first one. Minus, now the second one will now become for 1. When you are, now this for the first one, for the 3. Now minus the 1 for the 1. Now substitute 1 in for the s in the same answer. That will become 1 raised to the power 3 over 3, right? Then minus 1, instead of x, put 1 bracket 1 plus c, and that is, so this is, I substituted here into this answer here. I substituted 3 here minus, and I substituted 1 here. So the substitution of 3 is minusing the substitution of 1. That's what this thing means. So this thing can be solved by integrating this expression first, then substitute 3 for x, minus the substitution of 1 for x, and that's what you have here. So that will give me 3 to the power 3 is 27 divided by 3 minus 1 times 3 is 3 plus c minus 1 to the power 3 is 1 over 3 minus 1 times 1 is 1 plus c, and that's what I have here. Then 27 divided by 3 is 9 minus 3 plus c minus bracket 1 over 3 minus 1 is, actually you'll find the LCM, that's 3. 3 divided 3 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Then 1 below 1 divide 3 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 minus 3 over 3 plus c, and that's what I have here. Then 9 minus 3 is 6 plus c minus bracket 1 1 minus 3 is minus 2 over 3 plus c, and that's just it. I've broken through. Now I have the number to the number. 6 minus 2 over 3. Minus and minus is plus. That will become 6 plus 2 over 3 plus c, and c is just c. I will just make this 2c to become 1. I will represent it by just 1c. And that's what I have here. 6 plus 2 over 3. The LCM here is 3. Okay. 1 divided 3 is 3 times 6 is 18. Plus 3 divided 3 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 18 plus 2 is 20 over 3 plus c. So the answer is now 3 and 20 is 6 whole number 2 over 3. And that is my answer. 6 whole number 2 over 3, making A the correct answer to that integration question. Now the next question says find the slope of the curve. Now when you hear the word slope is differentiation. Please don't forget that one of the applications of differentiation is for finding slope. Please don't forget. So if you have any question asking for slope, please don't be deceived. That is differentiation. So I'm to differentiate this question. And here is the question: 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 at this interval, so at this coordinates 1 and 4. That means x is 1 and y is 4. So when x is 1 and y is 4, now what I'm going to do? First thing is to differentiate it. Slope is dy dx. Dy dx means differentiation. So that means I'm going to differentiate this thing now. Now this is the question now. Y equals 2x squared plus 5x minus 3, right? Now what's the general law of differentiation? Minus the power. That's it. Now that means this 2 will come down. This power 2 will come to the front. It will become 2 times 2. That's 4x. Then 2 minus 1 is 1 raised to power 1. That's 4x raised to power 1. Remember that I told you that in the law of differentiation, the power with times will come to the front and will also minus. 2 minus 1 is 1. So here I have 1 x raised to power 1. Then 2 times 2 is 4. 4x plus 5x. Here is an invisible one as a power. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. So this will become x raised to power 0. So there is nothing here. X raised to power 0 is actually 1. 1 times 5 is 1. So there is nothing here because it's raised to power 0. So it's dead. Then minus 3. Every ordinary number in differentiation is 0. So this is cancelled. This minus 3, even if it is minus 50, is still cancelled. Because a number without x is cancelled in differentiation. But if it were integration, if it is an ordinary number, you will just put a x behind it. That will become minus 3x. That is integration. But not so in differentiation. You cancel the number and that is the answer. So this is the differential of this question. And that is it. Now, but what else can you do? When the slope is given, you are told to find a slope at this coordinate. Now that means this coordinate means that x is 1. So plug in x as 1 into this answer. Now substituting x equals 1. Because this is my x. Because this is my x and this is my y. So if x is 1 means that you plug in x and 1 for x here. That will become 4 bracket x. That's 4 times 1 plus 5. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 5, which is 9. So the slope is or the gradient is 9, and that is the end of that. Now let's check out the next one. Now differentiate x over cos x with respect to x. Now this is a differentiation that is a division, and whenever differentiation is a division, you will use what we call quotient rule. Quotient rule of differentiation is only used for division, and because the word quotient means divide, so any differentiation on division means you are to use quotient rule, and quotient rule is super easy. It's just to remember the rule. Now, first of all, you must begin by saying this. Now, watch what I do carefully. The one on top is your u, and the one under is your v. That will become u is x, and now if u is x, now differentiate u now. That will now become du dx is, what is the answer if you differentiate this x? It will be 1, because this is raised to power 1. 1 will come to the front. It will now become x raised to power 1 minus 1, which is 0. X is cancelled, so I will have 1 as my differential. So that every ordinary letter in differentiation is 1. Now v, this the second one, cos x. What will be the differentiation of cos x? I told you from the beginning that cos x in differentiation will become minus sine x. So dv dx will now become minus sine x. So I have gotten my u, and I've gotten the answer du dx as 1. I've gotten my v, I've gotten the answer dv dx as minus sine x, right? Now the quotient rule, because this is a division question, you use quotient rule. The quotient rule says that You must know this rule. V du dx minus u dv dx over v squared. I'll come again. V du dx minus u dv dx over v squared. Some people will say, wow, this is super difficult, but it's not difficult because you have already gotten everything you will need here. Just copy them and put them into this formula, and that is the end of the road. So what I have here is going to become, what is my v? My v from here, I've seen it here. V is cos x. Just plug it in. What is my du dx? My du dx is 1. So cos s bracket 1 minus, what's my u? My u is x, and that's my x there. Bracket, what's my dv dx? dv dx is minus sine x. Can you see that? I'm just plugging them in over, what is my v square? My v square, v is cos x. That's cos square x. That is my v square. Now cos s times 1 is cos x. I will split this cos square x for the both of them. Over cos square x plus, why plus? Because minus and minus is plus. X sine x over cos square s is for this one and this one. So I'm just sharing the cos square s for this side and this side for both of them. And that will become cos square s here. Now cos x over cos square s means double of cos s. So cos s will cancel one cos x, it will remain 1 on top over cos s, because cos square s means 2, it means cos s times cos s. So if this cos s cos 1 cos s, it will remain 1 cos s below. That's 1 on top over cos s plus I have x sine x on top over cos square s is cos x and cos s, right? Now that will now give me 1 over cos s means the inverse of cos s. That means the opposite of cos x or cos is sec. 1 over cos is sec. You must know that. It's very, very important. 1 over cos, that means the opposite of cos is sec. Just as the opposite of sine x is cosec x. 1 over sine x is cosec x. So 1 over cos s is sec x plus x over cos x. And that's what I have here. So I just printed s to one side. 1 over cos s is sec x again. Then this sine x over cos s is sine x over cos s, which is tan x. Sine over cos is tan. And that's what I have here. Sine s over cos s is tan s. 1 over cos s, because there's 1 on top here. I just remove this x so that it will become 1 on top here. 1 over cos s is sec x, and x is here. Then 1 over cos s is sec x. So it is sec x plus x cos sec s tan x. And that makes the answer to be option what? Option D. And that is the answer to that question. Let's check out this one. Now this one says evaluate pi over 2 sec square x minus tan square x dx. Now you have to integrate this thing first. Simplify this thing, then integrate. When you integrate, then you will now plug in these values. So I have sec square s minus tan square s. You might be scared, but you will see that it's very simple. Now first of all, turn tan into sec. Now under trigonometry, we learned that tan and sec have a relationship, and the relationship is equal to tan square x is equal to sec square s minus 1. You must know all these things. It's a relationship between tan and sec, and it's how to change tan to sec and sec to tan. So now tan square s is equal to what? Is what? It is sec square x minus 1. Do you like that? That is just it. And that's what I have here. Sec square x minus 1 in bracket. So now I have the differential of pi over 2 sec square x minus bracket. Tan square x is now sec square x minus 1 in bracket. Now this is now going to give me sec square x minus sec square x minus, and minus is plus 1 dx. Can you see that? Now these are the same. They will minus, they will cancel each other. I'm left with 1. So now what is the integration of 1? I told you that in integration, any ordinary number is x. So that will give me x as my answer. That's 1x, that's x as my answer. Then this pi over 2 will now plug in for x. That means x will now become pi, and x will now become minus 2. You will now minus both of them. That will be, my answer will become pi minus 2. And that is B, is the correct answer. Now let's check out this one again. Now in this one, we have this question. Y equals 3x squared in bracket 3x plus 1 raised to power 1 over 2, right? Now this is what we have here. Now this is actually a product rule question. They say find dy dx, that means differentiate, that's what it means. Now to differentiate, this is the first one, this is the second one. It's two expressions standing side by side, which means it is times. That means they are timesing themselves, and that means you will use the product rule I showed you at the beginning. Now the first one is u, call this one u, so u is 3s squared, right? Now find the answer, differentiate 3s squared, that will become 2 times 3 is 6 x, 2 minus 1 is 1, that's 6x is my answer. The second one is having a bracket. Now when a differentiation has a bracket, it is a function of function, means that it is a differentiation inside another differentiation, and you will need to use the chain rule. Whenever a differentiation has a bracket, it has a power in the bracket, it has another power outside. That is chain rule, and I will not bother you with the chain rule, but I will just show you a shortcut to getting the answer. And here it is. So first of all, we say that this one is v, everything here is v, so v is equal to 3 s raised to power 3 plus 1, all in bracket, raised to power 1 over 2, right? Now use the chain rule. Now this is what I'm going to do. Now watch me carefully. The v over the x equals, now first of all, normally, don't solve the one inside the bracket. Solve the one outside first. What I have outside is 1 over 2. If you come to the front, it will become 1 over 2 bracket, s raised to power 3 plus 1. Then the same 1 over 2 minus 1, that will become minus 1 over 2. Notice I did not solve the one inside the bracket. I only solved this 1 over 2, the power only. That's how to do this chain rule. So that's 1 over 2 bracket, s raised to power 3 plus 1. This one inside did not change. In bracket close, raised to power minus 1 over 2, right? Times. Now solve the one inside the bracket now only. That will not give me the one inside the bracket is s raised to power 3, it will become 3s squared. Then plus that one is cancelled because it doesn't have a s, so it's 0. That's the answer for the one in the bracket is 3s squared. So this is the one outside the bracket, this is the one inside the bracket. That's the end of chain rule. That's how to solve chain rule any day, anytime. And that's what we have here. Now multiply, that will give me 3s squared over 2. That means this 3s squared came to me this 1 over 2. 3s squared over 2, then the bracket stands s raised to power 3 plus 1 raised to power minus 1 over 2. And that is that. Now it is now ready now. Now the product rule now. I've now simplified everything. Now let's bring in the product rule. What is the product rule? dy dx is equal to u dv dx plus v du dx, right? This is called product rule because this is a multiplication question, right? And that's what I have here. Now what's my u? 3s squared. Plug it in. Then what's my dv dx? dv dx is this answer I have here. That's bracket 3s squared bracket s raised to the power 3 plus 1 raised to the power minus 1 over 2 over 2. That's my dv dx in bracket plus v. What's my v? My v is s raised to the power 3 plus 1 all in bracket raised to the power minus raised to the power 1 over 2. That's my v here from here. Okay, then what's my du ds? My du ds is 6x, and that's what I have here. Now actually if you get to this point you can stop. That is your answer. Okay, because if it were a theory question you can as well stop here, and that is better because you have already done what is necessary. You've shown the person marking that you understand differentiation. So but everything I'm doing here is a little bit not necessary. It's just to make it neater. Okay, so if I go on from here I'll be getting from here I move a step further, and for this one I have what I have here is negative. Minus is in this power. It will become 1 over. No, minus in the law of Finis says that any minus in the power will become 1 over. It will become 1 over 3 times 3 is 9. S squared times s squared, s is power 4. Then 3s cubed. Sorry, s cubed plus 1 in bracket raised to power 1 over 2, all divided by 2. Plus 6x is here. Let it come to the front. 6x bracket s to the power 3 plus 1 all to the power 1 over 2, and this is just it. So this will now become, if you solve further, you'll be getting 2 over this 2 below here went up, and I stop here. 2 over 9x to the power 4 bracket s to the power 3 plus 1 all in bracket raised to the power 1 over 2 plus 6 bracket s to the power 3 plus 1 all in bracket raised to the power minus 1 over 2. And this is where I stop. So I prefer to stop here because this is the best push, I can give it. But however, your task here is not really to just pick out any answer, it's just to demonstrate that you can really solve differentiation using product rule. I didn't see any of these options as aligning with my answer, but the most important thing has been done. I've demonstrated product rule, but there may be a way that they arrange their question that is not really orderly. I'm a little bit skeptical about these options, but I believe that this is the way it is done, and I want you to understand how it is done, and that's the goal of this class. So this is just it. Now let's see the next one. The next one says, for what value of x does this sine bracket 2x minus 25 degree attain its maximum value in the range 0 degree is less than x is less than 180 degree. Now this is the question here now. Now we have c sine bracket 2x minus 25. Now this is actually chain rule question. Why? See, inside the bracket is has a x, and outside has a sign again. This is a typical chain rule question. So if I'm to do that, I'm just going to differentiate dy dx. That will become dy dx is equal to what? 6. Change this sign. Sign will change to cos according to the rule, right? Sign will change to cos. It will become 6 cos. That's for the one outside. I'm solving the one outside first. You know, chain rule, I said solve outside first, don't solve inside. So it is still 6 cos. The sign change to cos. Then the one inside the bracket remains the same, 2x minus 25. Then times now solving the one inside the bracket, that will become 2, right? So 25 is cancelled. It just becomes 2 because the s is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Then 1 minus 1 is 0. So this cancelled. So I have 2 here. So this is the chain rule. And if I want to calculate it further, I'll just be doing 2 times 6 is 12. 12 cos 2x minus 25. Equate it to 0 because they say find the value of x. So this will become equate. You will equate everything to 0. So everything will now become equals to 0. Now solve for that. So the cos 2x minus 25. The 12 will come from here, come under this. It will become 0 over 12. That's 0. Cos 2x minus 25 equals 0. Then the 25 will go over to the side. It now becomes, sorry, what I have here is going to become, what we leave here should have been, wow. Okay, this 2x is in brackets, so I can't, oh, there's a need for bracket here. I kept the bracket here. Now this 25 can't jump over here unless the bracket is justified first. So the cos will go first because there's a bracket here. That will become 2x minus 25 is equals to the cos has jumped from here to this place. It will become cos inverse of 0. On your calculator, just press to press cos inverse. That's cos raised to power minus 1. It will become shift and cos. Then press shift cos 0. Shift and cos 0. It will give you cos inverse of 0, and that's 90. So 2x minus 25 is 90. The amount 25 will now go over to become plus 25. That will become 2x equals 90 plus 25, which is 2x equals 115. Divided by 2 is 57.5. And that makes C the correct answer to that question. Now let's see another one. Now this might be the last one. Find the value of x for which the function y equals x to the power 3 minus x has a minimum value. What value of x is this? Now, when you hear the differentiation question saying minimum or maximum value, is the same thing you do. Differentiate the expression. So I'll just do make dy dx to become 0. So differentiate it and make it 0, like the previous one. That will become y. This is the expression. X is power 3 minus x. Minimum value means dy dx is 0. That will become dy dx equals differentiate this thing. That will become 3 will come forward. 3x to the power 2 minus s will become 1 equals 0, right? Then this 1 will go over this one and become, this minus 1 will become 1. It will become 3s to the power 3s raised to power 2 equals 1. Then the 3 will go under, it will become s to the power 2 equal 1 over 3. Then this 2 will become the square root of this. It will become s to the power root 1 over 2, because square, the opposite of square, when it comes to this side, it will become root s to the power root 1 over 3. And that will become, the root of 1 is 1 over 3. The root of 3 is root 3. 1 over root 3. And that will give me 1 over. Now this is the answer, but it's not perfect. In sod, we don't leave a sod below. So how do we remove this root 3? Root 3 can't be under. It has to be on top. How do you remove it? Multiply both by root 3. times root 3 times root 3. That will become root 3 times 1, that's root 3, over root 3 times root 3 is root 9. I have removed the soil from under. It now becomes root 3 over 3 because the square root of 9 is 3. So the answer is root 3 over 3, and that is C is the correct answer. And that's it. Now let's come to the last question. This is the last question in this edition. So we have find the slope. Slope means gradient. So just like the one I did before, I believe. Now this one is just the same style. So I'll just go. Wow, what I have here is actually a little bit different. I'm sorry about that. We have to solve this expression. Sorry, the question is not the same with this. I've done this question before. Now this is the question I was giving. Wow. I'm so sorry about this. Now this is the question. We have to differentiate. We have to integrate this. It has pi over 4 and 0 below. And this is the question. It has sine and cos. So the first thing I'm to do is to split them. Integrate for sine, integrate for cos. Now integrating sine will become minus cos x. Okay, I am integrating now. Pi over 4 on top and 0 under. Then integrating for cos, it becomes sine x. Pi over 4 on top, 0 under. Remember that these are from the laws of integration. Okay, then the next thing is going to become, I will now plug in pi over 4 for x in this cos. This cos. Share, do one for pi over 4 and do one for 0. It will become 1 pi over 4 will be for cos and for sine. Then 0 will be for cos and for sine. So I have minus cos pi over 4, then minus sine pi over 4. Then minus the second one, minus cos 0, minus sine 0. So minus cos pi over 4 is actually minus 1 over root 2. Okay, because how do I get that? Cos pi over 4 is actually, it is in radian. So you can make it into degree. How do you change radian to degree? Multiply by 180. 4 in 180 is 45. I believe that is 45. So cos 45 is 1 over root 2. That's the way I got 1 over root 2 on your trigonometrical table. You can make research on that. Cos 45, how it is expressed in short form is 1 over root 2 minus sine 45 pi over 4. How this is pi over 4, but you might be saying, how am I getting this answer? This is in radian. Make it into degree is 45. How? Times 180. 4 divided 180 is 45, and that is sine 45 is 1 over root 2 also. So it is this now. Now minus cos 0 is 1. That will become minus 1. Then sine 0 is 0. So minus 0. So I have minus 1 over 2 minus 1 over 2 is minus 2 over root 2, and that's it. Then minus and minus is plus. Then 1. 0 is cancelled. 0 is nothing. So that's minus 2 over root 2 plus 1, and that will give me this root 2 can't be below. It has to be on top. Using rationalization of sort, this root 2 will come on top, and this will become times root 2. That will become root 4. Square root of 4 is 2. Then 2 root 2 over 2, because double of root 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So here will be 2. Then this root 2 will go on top. It will become 2 root 2 over 2. 2 cancel 2. I'm left with minus root 2. Then this 1 is still here, plus 1. So the answer is minus root 2 plus 1, or 1 minus root 2. And that makes my answer. And that is the end of this edition on integration and division. That's on calculus. And that is just it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope to see you in the next edition. The next edition is the last one and the grand finale, and that will take 3 topics: mensuration, circle geometry, that's geometry generally, then trigonometry. See you at the in the next class. Bye for now.